Okay, friends, let's do a studio tour, a very small studio tour of Working Class Audio HQ. This is it. This is the studio. One room. And yeah, let's go over it. So yeah, I guess we'll start here. So you walk in the front door and there's all kinds of stuff, keepsakes, old studio, press stuff, letters people send me or gifts. There's something from the Mustard Museum from Justin Perkins. There's my fish badge from visiting Vance Powell at the fish show in the broadcast truck. There's all my trips to Dolby that I've, not all of them, but many of them, past NAMM badges. Old reels as decoration. Got your 3M 996, you got your Ampex 499, you got your Quantigy GP9. Yeah, we'll talk about that speaker in a minute. A picture of my dad playing violin when he was a kid. Yeah. There's my certificate of appreciation from the U.S. Department of Labor. Yeah, that's a whole little story. CD I worked on for Kyle Athade, Dance Party, big band record. You got to have your collection of shakers, of course. That's important. You also have to have your Day of the Dead kind of skull. These acoustic treatments, these bass traps here are from Real Traps. I got those many years ago. Those are, as you see, 4x8, and they're 6 inches deep. Yeah, those are 6 inches deep. On top there, we've got our more Day of the Dead stuff. 50th birthday party at Disneyland. Yes. Got to have your Empire Strikes Back old school lunchbox, of course. Very important. I got my spare artist mix down there. Rarely use that. Rarely. Got all my Working Class Audio mics down here for, interviews when I'm traveling. There's some Working Class Audio stickers and a little light. And then you got to have your Casio realistic keyboard. That was made by Casio for Radio Shack, I believe. And my little Korg keyboard controller. One of my favorite things, my Grace M900 Working Class Audio Edition, laser engraved. This was, this was number 11 of 10, because they made 10, but I had to have one, so they made secret number 11. Kind of a Spinal Tap reference, but also just kind of a little inside thing. My mom and dad, when they got married a bazillion years ago. You got to have your pens and pencils here, and it's kind of my New Mexico, tribute to my parents, plus more Day of the Dead stuff with Cactus, representing New Mexico. Being a drummer, got to have a little drum set reference in there. And no studio is complete without their Kiss Pez set, or some extra shakers, or an impression of their teeth. Yeah, that's gross. Here, moving up, more reels. Here's a Grace design piece that you don't see very often. This was a gift from Michael Grace and Eben Grace. This is a clock, and clearly I need to change the batteries because it's not running. So it's right twice a day, of course. One of my favorite times in my life, going to mix with the masters with friend of the show, friend of mine, former guest, Chad Blake, outstanding individual, lovely human. Jane's Addiction at the Fillmore. When I was in the band The Sextants, we opened for Jane's Addiction, so you got to have that up. There's a Bodine's poster too that I got to get where we're on it. So yeah, a couple times in history I was on a Fillmore poster. I thought that was kind of cool. Bass that one of my kids used to play, an old Jaguar 3/4 scale bass. He doesn't play bass anymore, so I keep it on the wall when we need bass. And You got to have the odd Mackie 1202 VLZ sitting in the corner waiting for its time to shine. And a little Eden bass amp, of course. Yeah, so I'm going to get to the speakers. I swear I'm going to get to the speakers. You got to have a telephone sign. Everybody has to have a telephone sign. More Day of the Dead stuff. And yeah, you got your bookshelf up here. Various books, Capitol Records, Metallica, recording the Beatles, Beastie Boys, Questlove, Bobcats, Dan Alexander's book, and God, what else is up there? The Replacements box set for Pleased to Meet Me that Justin Perkins did the remastering on. Star Wars posters, of course. This is my camera shelf. This is the one of the two hobbies I have. So I have all my miscellaneous camera gear up there. There's not much going on there. And then here we've just got, you know, shelves of stuff, you know, mic cables and various tools and, you know, knickknacks and interfaces when I need them. And, you know, you got to have your box of various audio adapters and miscellaneous mic stuff, loam mics. Well, everybody needs this, though, here. Everybody needs your spare box of RTM blank cassettes. I like those guys. Those are nice guys over there at RTM. And then these were kind of the last run of Chrome cassettes from a company, and I bought a box and already used one and gave one away. They're still in the shrink wrap here. And you're like thinking, does he even have a cassette player? Why, yes, I do. Yes, I do. This is the business end of everything over here, I guess. Run everything off of MacBook Pro M2. My sound devices, Mix Pre 6, is the device that I use when I'm doing interviews with the RE20 through the Grace 103 channel strip into the Audioscape 76F. You may have seen some things from me online. These are new pieces, the 76D and the Stay Level or VComp, VComp, not Stay Level, from Audioscape in the Trainwrecked edition, which is my favorite. I like this look. Not everybody does, and that's okay. Got an AEA Trip 2 up here. Super transparent. There's my cassette machine. Got a Nakamichi Cassette Deck 1. This is great for making transfers and the odd mixtape, which I actually made a mixtape for somebody within the last month, strangely enough. They had a list of songs, and I put them on a cassette for them. Got an NAD CD player, because you need that. Because, you know, CDs, they still come my way for some reason. Amphion 8-channel power amp. We're going to get to how that's related to the flat speakers that you saw, the PMCs. What do we got over here? Monster power supply, Furman power supply. Still got an old school Universal Audio Apollo 8P. Got a DAW meter there, 2-channel DAW meter. Got a couple ref tone speakers connected to this cheapy little power amp here. This is my third set of speakers that I use to monitor on. These ref tones are super cool. I know there's a lot of variations of this concept out there, but the ref tone folks are cool and they make a cool product, so check them out. There's the brains to my Grace M908 surround controller. There's the power supply. And hidden here is the Dante switch. Look out for that random mic cable coming out of there. Yeah, so that's that part. Yeah, and then this is where I sit. This is what I do every day. This is a Sound Anchor DAW cart. I got rid of all my old school furniture long ago and went with the cart. There's the Hollyland mics that I posted about. These are great. I'm actually talking to you on one now. We'll put that back here and out of the way. PreSonus fader port, single channel. You know, if I need to move a fader, that's going to do the job for me. I have this Logitech mouse that is just, I'm not going to show you up close. It is beat to hell because I've used it so much. Got a Stream Deck with some various things on there. There is my Grace 908 surround controller. So when I'm working in Atmos, that's what I'm looking at. Got my IK Multimedia iLoud speakers. I love these things. These are so cool. And then you got your TC Electronic meter there. Clarity, what is it? Clarity 2. I can't even remember. But that's great. And then, of course, you know, up above there, we have to have the classic John Berkey, the artist, used to do sketch art for George Lucas. He died long ago, but he did such cool artwork. And that is one of my favorite things of all time that he did. I think that's super cool. More reel traps, your random Yamaha guitar. Over here I've got, I will get to those speakers, I swear. You got your Tivoli radio and your various CD box sets, Led Zeppelin, Brian Eno's 1 and 2 box sets, Beastie Boys, Buena Vista Social Club, AC/DC. Did I say AC/DC twice? Can't remember. Sennheiser shotgun mic. Gotta have that. And then the backyard, which is all blown out there, that's providing nice light into here. Okay, so let's get to these. PMC Result 6s for my LCRs. Ideally, I would have had all Result 6s, but this room is too small. You know, even though if I come back here, it may not look small, but it is. And I would have had all those, but they would have stuck out very far from the ceiling because they're super deep. Look how deep they are. That's pretty deep. So on the advice of my friends over at PMC, I went with the CI30s for the surround speakers. These are powered by the Amphion power amp I was showing you earlier. So there they are in the ceiling. That's the top, obviously. Here, I'll sit here. And so you got the LCRs, and then here you've got your right side, your left side. And I could close these curtains here so you can see this all better. Close these curtains. It's going to get 10 times darker in here. Yeah, so there's the right side. There's my back left, my back right. Yeah, got my Dolby Atmos plaque. And yeah, there we go. There's the ceilings. You can see I've got some cloud action going on up there. And yeah, some headphones on the side. These are the Olo open back headphones. I've been really loving these. They're super comfortable, sound great. You got to have a lot of headphones around, so you know, I've got ATH M40Xs from Audio-Technica over there. Got my Olos here. Got my Odysseys here. These are my LCD XCs. Fantastic headphones. These are considerably heavier than the Olos. I love them both. Those are closed back. Those are open back. Great headphones. You got to have more than one pair. What else? I guess that's it. Yeah, small studio tour. I'll give you the spin, the once over. I like having all that stuff in that light. Like, this is a bedroom in my house, so you could see that this used to be a closet, and it's nice to kind of squeeze all that stuff in there because it really makes for keeping the floor clear, right? So if you look at here, I'll come back here, you could see there's actually, for a small room, there's a lot of floor space. Also, what's interesting is the ceiling. Like if I'm sitting here, the ceiling is sloping that way, but it's also sloping upward. So it's at its lowest point there, and then it gets higher there. This back wall is not parallel to this front wall. And this side wall to my left is not parallel to that side wall. And then there's all those shelves, and I'm not going to dare even open up those cabinets. There's so much stuff up there. But yeah, the room's not parallel, and that's okay. It actually acoustically sounds quite great. Even without acoustic treatment, it sounds great. But I'll tell you a couple details though. I did put these, this is a tile floor underneath here. This obviously was like some kind of addition that was built on at some point. That's the sweet spot where Dolby came and measured. So these are just like sticky Home Depot carpet tiles. So quite honestly, if the dog comes in here and pees on the floor, you just pull the tile up, put down a new one. But that rarely happens because I just don't let the dogs in here very often. Also, very key, my good friend Dan, oh look, there's a spider web. Let's get rid of that. My good friend Dan, he took this recycled fence, but he took a wire brush tube, kind of textured it a little bit, cleaned it up, cleaned all the garbage off. And then we came in and we both worked on this. I just told him where I wanted the boards. He did all the cutting and measuring. And we did this distressed wood fence, I guess. Yeah. On that wall and that wall. And it really made a difference in the tone of this room. And then that's just drywall over on that side and drywall on this side where there's, where there's wall. So yeah, I think that's about it. Oh yeah, final piece. Got to have a yellow telephone connected to an XLR connector. Yeah, that's it. All right, hope you enjoyed the mini tour. And yeah, thanks for watching.